right, so what record do we have today?
So, you know, I was actually able to put my my personal best down today, which was 12:55 at 117 mile an hour. And so that's Canada's fastest FK8 Type-R, and North America, like Continental, America's fastest Type-R as well. So.
All right, well, hey, congratulations on setting the time, setting the record.
Appreciate it.
So that's 12:55.
Yep.
At 117.
Yeah, we've got like some serious, like 11-second mile an hour, and the problem essentially with the Type-R is it's the big brake kit on the car that comes original from it, and obviously the car's a course car, so we do a little bit of a different philosophy of the car to show people that you can drag race this car. It's a tough car to drag race, but the reality is you know, it's a lot of foreign territory, whether it's on the course track or it's over here. There's still a lot of, you know, foreign territory, so I think that's what makes the fun of the challenge, of trying to see if we can actually make this thing do something.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
But it is frustrating to have, you know, your ETB, you know, 12 seconds and my mile per hour be 11 seconds.
It's an 11-second mile an hour, yeah.
You know, we've got some slipping clutch and things like that we're dealing with, so a little more tuning, I think, with Paul, I think, Spitfire, then, you know, we'll probably, I would imagine, get another 100 horsepower, but until we can get a new twin disc clutch on it, it's, we're probably going to be 1250s is what we're going to end the season with.
Okay, so what's the setup on the engine here?
So it's this is a fully built K20 C1 engine, and so it's running JE pistons with Sains rods. It's got the full Furrer valve train setup as well, so the car, instead of running 6,800 RPMs, it runs and revs out to 7,800 RPM, and that's all controlled off of Honda. That we have all of our tuning work and everything like that done at Spitfire Performance, and then mated to that we have a prototype Rampage turbo kit running the brand new state-of-the-art Garrett G25 660 turbo. So that's rated at 660 wheel horsepower.
How big's that turbo?
It's a 54 mil.
Okay.
But it's essentially made to fit in small spaces and have robust power. So with today's engine, you know, bays and being so overloaded with all sorts of different onboard things, that's where a lot of the small turbos are coming in and creating a lot of efficiency. So it's and then we're running also an internally wastegated system that's the original electronic wastegate system, so that it will work with Honda as opposed to going over and using Motec. And not that Motec's not a great system, it's probably one of the best that you can get. But when we looked at cost efficiencies and things like that, when you build the engine, you put the turbo kit on it, and then you decide to go to the Motec, you're adding like another whole $10,000 on top of that. Then you've got your fuel components and all those things as well. So, you know, we've already got a lot of you know, R&D and cost into the motor right now, and in a lot of cases we're trying to flesh it out. We've had all sorts of little gremlins to kind of seek out, and because it's a lot of pioneering work, you know, this has had to be the guinea pig that a lot of the Type-Rs in Ontario have gotten a lot of their tuning work from. So we've done a lot of, you know, of tuning on the dyno at Paul, probably over 50 hours, and that's really honed out a lot of the Type-Rs that run in my race team, Deep State, and things like that. They're all running tunes that have really worked off of the back of this car. So I'm proud when a lot of our guys go fast, because, you know, we've done the R&D work to kind of get there.
Came out of this car, yeah, for sure.
So
how much power is it making?
Right now it's running 461 wheel horsepower, and it's running at low boost 24 psi. Last year we actually ran 29 psi. And Honda actually has a big boost package for the car, but we put a Clutch Masters clutch in it, upgraded it. It only lasted 10 passes, and so it annihilated it. We're now going to go to a twin clutch as well. We actually went back to running the OEM clutch. We're able to better the time, but it's slipping now, and just today at the track I could feel it all day. It's the passes that are coming down, even though we're getting some, you know, some better times. The reality is there's just a lot being left on the table, and the 60 foots are just increasing as opposed to going down, which we all want. You know what I mean? It's increasing. So I think the quotient is there. I think we just have a little bit more work in a few different areas to solve things. And I think if we decided to go in, which I'm sure a lot of people would think is blasphemy, to go in and change the braking on the Type-R and go with a smaller setup, you know, and get a bigger sidewall on the car. You know, our mile per hour is 119.9 mile an hour. hour. So we have low 11-second mile an hour right now, but we really can't get that 60 foot without that grab.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what we may look at over the off season is going and switching over to a smaller braking setup that still has the poison that the Type-R had, but in a smaller footprint,
for sure,
and allow us to run a more traditional drag racing setup. But at the end of the day, the car has to work as a triple threat. It has to be able to be a proficient street car. It's got to be a proficient drag car, and it's got to be a proficient track car. So
for sure.
That's kind of
okay. So what's done to the rest of the car? What's the suspension, wheels, stuff like that?
So you know what? Quite honestly, a lot of the other accoutrements that we've done to the car, or mods that we've done to the car, are very tame. It runs on iBox springs. We haven't done anything with the dampening the shocks or anything like that, because the Type-R itself, it's a formidable car. It really is. Yep. So obviously a little bit of ride height change. It also runs 255 35 19s on Volk Racing 19s. I've always run Volks in my car. It's kind of been my signature bronze on black.
For sure.
And beyond that, it runs a Remus exhaust. I get asked all the time, probably the number one question about the car from other Type-R owners is, how do I make the car sound, the way that the car sounds?
Yeah.
And I'd love to be able to say that just strap this exhaust on and it would do it, but unfortunately there's a built motor and a turbo and all the other stuff that's on there. But Rampage, who does all of the turbo kit and all of the piping and everything like that, and did our downpipe and everything like that, as you can see, he's an artist. Like
beautiful,
it's form, it's function. It's really all of the above, and so having PTP turbo blankets and some of the other sponsors that have come on to support us and trying to advance it, recognizing that it's really in its infancies and that 12.5 is it's not fast. I'm not afraid to say it. For what we're doing, we're getting somewhere, but it's the pioneering of seeing where can this engine be taken to. What kind of power limits does it have?
Sure.
We were already starting to find out the transmission is definitely the weak spot on the car. As a lot of my other owners have professed to see the same issues. So that's an area that we've been trying to kind of look at to see if we can come up with some things, because I don't want to have to work on the transmission every off season. So I know there's a few different manufacturers that have some options that we're going to take a look at as well. So
this is the number one Type-R in Canada. Like, whether you say it's slow or not, it is the fastest one there is. So
yeah, we're trying. You know what? It's like anything. I think it's just you go out and you spend the seat time and everything like that. I don't think that we're necessarily doing anything that's crazy or out of the norm or anything like that. We've just been spending the time, and I'm not afraid to say it. We work with the best in the industry, and all the parts that we use on the car, they have to be able to pass the torture test. So we've had manufacturers come to us and say, hey, listen, run these parts on the car and let us know how it works, so that the community that does have these cars, that they're educated behind it. They're spending good money on their vehicles, all the different vehicles across all the manufacturers. It costs a lot of money nowadays to be able to build them. So if we can go out, we can save some people a little bit of time and effort by some of the things that we're doing, then I think that we're serving the community as well. So
that's great. Well, what's going on in the interior there? What kind of modifications do you have there?
In the interior, actually, my favorite mod inside the interior is actually my Acuity short shifter. So it's a full race short shifting unit, so it's not just like an add-on to the original shifter. It's a full race system that you put in there, replace the OEM.
Okay.
That's really shortened the gates. It's really shortened the throw.
Nice.
And the fact that the Type-R does have a lot of transmission idiosyncrasy, that's really helped clean it up. It's gotten a lot of grinding that I had in the past. It's actually gotten rid of some of that as well. And then I mat that as well with some Salbelt Titan race seats with harnesses from 11/10ths.
Cool.
And so that gives you, obviously, you're strapped in, ready to go, feeling.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
If you don't feel like a race car before, you definitely do after that. And the car is gutted pretty much on the inside. We've got our door panels and such so that it still feels like a regular car when you're up front, but we have removed some of the weight in the back to see if that will help. But she's pretty modest. It's not I've tried to keep a lot of it, other than some of the sticker bomb from the sponsors, I've tried to keep it a little bit the form of the Type-R. You know what I mean? That this is how it came. People say to me on a regular basis that, oh, you did this, you did that, like it looks great, and I end up saying, no, the car came like that. You know what I mean? Then you pop the hood and people are like, you went ridiculous. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
that's good.
Yeah,
it's a great looking car for sure. Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
And it does perform. Thank you. Thank you for bringing it out and showing us what it can do.
Absolutely. And next year I'll get into some 11s and stuff like that.
All right.
Show some real fast. So.
Look forward to it.
There
All right.
you go, man.
Let me get some.